ZarzadeckHeads, happy Valentine's Day. It's nice to have you here with me, even though the day's almost over and I still haven't edited this day. But whatever, you know, it's the thought that counts. Let's go to the chase here. Now, today, the theme for this show will be and I'm looking over to my little cue cards, the top 10 great Valentine's Day excuses. And now these are specifically designed for use in an emergency or when you're in a pinch or a fix or whatever and you've somehow messed up the whole Valentine's Day experience. These are meant to be moldable, okay? So you may have to put your own salt and pepper on these. So let's go. Number 10, you're stuck at the airport. And this is perfect because it's still February and it's winter most places. You may not be able to use this in the South, but you need to be somewhere that it is generally cold and maybe snowing, okay? So you could be anywhere and, you know, tell this little alternate fact to somebody on the phone or whatever, and they'll just completely accept it because they're like, oh, well, of course, you know, it's winter. This happens all the time. Yeah, I mean, now you use it sparingly, though. It's like losing a grandparent, right? You gotta, like, you know, spend it wisely. Next, number 9, the axle on my car broke. It's a kind of an adjustment of a very classic excuse where you say you ran out of gas. Now, you can't really say that you ran out of gas anymore because that's really stupid. But something like your car axle breaking, well, that is like, that's a cause for concern. And so that will actually grant you like a little bit of, you know, sympathy and you know, so use that to your advantage, you know, because that car axle breaking, that could have hurt. Like you could throw a disc out or something. But again, it's alternate facts. So if you're going to say something happened to your car, make sure that it is an actual real part to the car. You should not be making up parts of the car that you either do not have in your car, like the flip gibbet. That's not a good, nobody's gonna believe that. Nobody. I've also used this where I have said that I was locked in my car because the battery died and the doors wouldn't open, the windows wouldn't come down, and that actually works really good. But in reality, that has happened. Let me give you a tip here. Hopefully this doesn't make this too long, but if you're in a Prius and you run out of gas, the car's like, well, I still have some battery, but then you run out of battery, then after that, you're all right, well, we're spending too much time on this. Number 8. You had a work emergency. Everybody has to have a job, and so sometimes, you know, while you're working, something happens, like the server went down, or the stock dropped and they needed somebody to help them pick that thing back up. Work emergency is really a good one, and you can use that frequently several times in the year. That's one of those more flexible excuses. Again, you can be kind of vague about what it is, but you shouldn't like make it just isolated to something that you could have obviously walked away from, like, oh, my laptop crashed. Oh, well, here's a good one. You could just say that you were in the clean room and you got locked in because, oh wait, you know what? We just used the locked in excuse. Well, okay, don't use these excuses all in a row, okay? You get to pick one of these 10. But but I like saying I got locked in the clean room because it's like, wow, you have a clean room? And I'm like, yeah, that's where we keep the servers. All the hard drives are exposed in there. You know, there's no, I'm just checking my hair. Everybody has a clean room, right? I mean, at least everywhere I've worked, there's always a clean room. You know, they make you take all the clothes off and then you have to go into this room with this man and he makes sure that, you know, you don't have any dust in your whole body. And what do you mean nobody ever does that? That happens everywhere I work at. Next, number 7 is a favorite of mine. It shows that you exercise. You've had a treadmill accident. This could happen to anybody. You're on the treadmill, everything was going fine, and you were, you know, treadmilling, you were walking, exercising, and then you got distracted. Like maybe you accidentally turned a slight bit of an angle and then, you know, you walked off the edge of it, or it fell off of you, or you fell on it. There's a whole variety of directions that this could go. And there's videos on the internet where people have this happen. So this is common. Let's look at one of those videos. Oh, that was good. Let's look at another one. And now one more. Well, this is great. See, I don't even need to talk about it now. I've just shown you like 3 good examples about how you can bust your ass on a treadmill and then say, well, I can't go out because I busted my ass on a treadmill. Next, number 6 is one of the ones that I like to think of as the malleable, like a metal that you can just bang on with a hammer while you're in a movie theater and people are like, who's doing that? Number 6 is something heavy fell on you. That could have been a dresser or an arcade game or a rock or a wall or your car's tire or the treadmill, your stepfather, a bunch of wood that I had leaning against the wall and I'd forgotten about. I mean, look at that. There's like a million ways that this could go wrong. That one's a good one in case you can't answer the phone because they're going to be calling you and wondering why you didn't pick up, and then they're going to be, well, you'll be like, well, I was stuck underneath the sofa. Next, number 5. This is one that is new. It's so new that it's probably never been used. Number 5, you had an EarPod accident. AirPod, Apple AirPods. They're these little, like, clef-shaped things. You stick them in the ear and, they use Bluetooth. You could say that you shoved it too far in and you had to go to the emergency room to have it removed. That sounds very believable. Another thing, you could say, I took the AirPod out and then, I accidentally breathed it in and it got stuck and I had to go to the emergency room. You see where I'm going here? This is one of those things where it's so new, such new technology that, for sure somebody's accidentally gonna breathe it or eat it or shove it into a hole where it shouldn't be. Now use caution when you're crafting this story because there's a lot of holes that you could put things in and you'd be fine. But we're not gonna get into those details now. There's a family channel mostly. Okay, number 4 was inspired by this film made in the 1980s called Gremlins. In that film, Phoebe Cates, she was this fine brunette woman, and she did not like Christmas because her dad had went into the fireplace and got stuck and died, and then, so now every time Christmas comes, she gets sad. So bad memory associations. Again, craft it to where this maybe is about you as well. Like, so maybe on a previous Valentine's Day, you got beat up, or you beat somebody else up and you feel real bad about it. I like the first one though. You got beat up, yeah. And so now you're like, I don't like it because it reminds me of back when I got beat up by that bicyclist, or that FedEx guy, or that UPS guy. Depends on your service area. The beauty about the bad memories, you can use it every year. So if you do not like Valentine's Day, you can just ride that puppy until the cows come home. Next, number 3 on our list is the anxiety attack. And this one is specifically designed for my friends out there who like to jog or run or jog and run or walk really briskly. You say you had an anxiety attack because you saw a wolf or a very large coyote or an armadillo that was, showing its teeth at you and you were scared, and you were triggered. That's another millennial term, getting triggered. When I think of trigger, I think of Will Rogers on his horse, whose name was Trigger, okay? Google it, all right? And that can hurt you for like a good 24 to 48 hours. You're just, I'm just too freaked out from when I saw the coyote or the large cat or that dog that had the collar that with the red colors that I don't like because of the trigger. Next! Number 2 is one that I like to use frequently on many holidays where you say, well, I thought that holiday was tomorrow. Forgetting what day it is happens a lot. I don't know, was it hump day? Was it Monday? You don't know what happened. What is this? This is like I got sunlight coming in? This is probably related to time travel problems where, you come back on the wrong day and then, you think it's the next day or whatever, and if you've got a time machine, then this is an excellent excuse to use. Okay, number 1. The number 1 reason why you forgot Valentine's Day. I like this one a lot. You were trapped in an elevator. That's right. Trapped in an elevator, you're basically stuck in there, right? Now, when you make that phone call and you say that you're stuck in an elevator, you're gonna need a real quiet place, all right? So make sure that it's nice and quiet and that every other time your phone rings, you have to answer it because you are stuck in an elevator. You cannot have an excuse where you'd be saying, well, I was busy with the buttons in the elevator, or I was, touching the floor. I don't know why. By the way, the lighting in here is really messed up, so if this video doesn't look even, blame Mother Nature because there's a lot of clouds going by outside. So there's my advice as far as the top 10 reasons for missing Valentine's Day. I hope that you found at least one of these useful. I know that the Valentine's Day is almost over. Kind of put these in your pocket and then store them. There's lots more holidays coming up that you can use these excuses. There's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, there's Secretary's Day, there's Brother and Sister Day. What? There's no such thing as that? Well, thanks for coming back and listening to my video. If you liked anything that I said or maybe found anything useful, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to watch another video that's similar to that, hit on that little box up there. I'm going to give my Bee Gees tribute while you decide which one of these to click. Ha 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 ha. Pick picking a button, ha 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 ha. I don't know the rest of this.